Let's talk about the defense side of the story. Morgan Brennan, of course, covers the industry for us, hosts the 4 p.m. show with John Fort, and joins us now. The bunker buster bomb, you heard Fred Kemp talk about at the top, and a B-2 bomber. If anybody wanted to go after this site, would it take direct U.S. help?
I think the bottom line is, as I understand it right now, yes, if you're going to employ this very specific type of bunker buster bomb. Keep in mind there's a number of different types of these bombs. Israel possesses some of them, but the biggest, most powerful is the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator. Yes, I know it's a nameful. You can call it MOP for short. Precision-guided 14-ton bomb can penetrate down 200 feet before actually detonating, not to be confused with the Moab for that reason, because it can penetrate. It's developed by Boeing in conjunction with the U.S. Air Force. Only U.S. B-2 stealth bombers are certified to operationally employ these MOPs, although they have been tested with B-52s in general. But either way, the bottom line here is you're talking about an American-made bomb for American uses that can only be delivered and deployed by an American-made aircraft. So to actually see this go to Iran and to this specific site, which is half a mile under a mountain, and be detonated would mean direct involvement from the U.S. Military and security officials basically saying to me now, both current and retired, that to see the U.S. become that directly involved, you're probably talking about Iran strikes or attacks on U.S. personnel or assets in the region for us to consider it.
Boeing is the one involved here in terms of its manufacturing.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, that would seem, let's hope, a highly unlikely outcome. One would hope.
Highly unlikely, yes, one would hope. That being said, Israel has hinted that they have other ways of potentially getting to Fordo. And certainly there's been talk about, cutting power supplies, which is what we've seen at some of the other nuclear sites. Lots of questions around how all of that is going to play out.
Because I think what I was getting at, Morgan, sorry to interrupt, was that I was thinking, listen, using U.S. technology as an Iron Dome to shoot down their missiles is one thing. That's a defensive posture.
And Israel and the U.S.
right?
have both said that so far U.S. involvement and ally involvement has been specifically that, defensive in nature.
Yeah, and using it in an offensive way, I think, is a whole different thing.
Yes, that directly brings the U.S. into this conflict. That being said, for investors out there who are tuning in and probably wondering, the fact that defense stocks have been trading higher or going back and forth the last couple of days in the midst of all of this conflict erupting and playing out in real time is Israel is very largely tied and dependent on the U.S. defense industrial base. So regardless of whether a MOP gets deployed or not, and hopefully it doesn't, you are still talking about replenishment of munitions and missiles and missile interceptors for, missile defense systems, aircraft sustainment with F-35s and F-15s. And you're still talking about all of the U.S. defense contractors that ultimately those orders, those foreign military sales are going to trickle back to. Israel has ordered something like $49 billion, according to Jeffrey, since 2013 in foreign military sales from the U.S., so that number will ratchet up.